So we got to get you out on the road.
I know. But I haven't got my confidence back though, have I?
Well, what's it going to take to get your confidence back?
I don't know. Drugs?
Well, I can't help you there.
Officially? Unofficially?
Neither. But I guess connecting with some people who know the area would be a good idea. If you could get out on the roads a little bit and ride with some people would help. But we've definitely got to get you riding hills, and also, take a look at your bike and see what the gearing is that you have on your bike. See if you might need to change that as well.
Well, I mean, I want to build up some fitness first. I just don't feel that I would cope well enough to ride with anybody else. So I just end up being on my own anyway.
Well, didn't you have somebody offering to ride with you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if somebody's offering to ride with you, they're going to ride. Usually the etiquette is they ride at your pace if they're offering to ride with you.
Yeah. I do need to, I know, but I am prevaricating on that.
Okay. Are there some paths that you can ride on, at least to sort of get you outside?
Yeah, there's lots of places. I mean, it depends what you're doing. There's a good circuit. Well, there's a good bike path out along the M7. I think that's about 40k, and that is bike path. So I could out and back do 80k, and that could be a bit of a time trial thing. But there are no hills there.
Yeah.
And I think with the weather getting better, then it means I could get out earlier. But I certainly wouldn't want to ride in Sydney.
No,
in the city.
No, I don't blame you for that, and I wouldn't want you doing that because I think that's far too dangerous.
A lot of people do, but I just, I admire them for doing it, but I think they're mad.
Well, I think they're asking for trouble. Motorists here are a little bit too on the aggressive side when it comes to cyclists. But if you can at least get out, when you're on the wind trainer, it's good for doing really targeted, hard work. But the problem is that it's not like being on a bike in that you're not using your synergistic muscles, the helper muscles that you need to use to just even help support you and stabilise them. Yeah. So what tends to happen is you're using your quads a lot, you're using your hamstrings a lot. People tend to end up with sore knees from being on the wind trainer. Yeah. So we don't want that to happen.
No.
So even if you can get out and ride on the pathway occasionally, and then mix it in with maybe coming up the coast, up to Queensland.
Well, that would be good to target. Maybe have a couple of days where we just go and ride together, and then you can see what I'm doing, right or wrong. But also the programs that I've looked at using that we mentioned. I'm not overly keen on Zwift because it's animation and that doesn't appeal to me. Trainer Road's got some good programs, short, sharp stuff that you can do that's very targeted. The Rovi one, I don't know whether you've seen that, but I'm going to give that a go because that's a sort of combination between that animation and real-time courses. So you could ride, say, half of the Ironman course in Hawaii.
Yeah, okay.
And because I've got Smart Trainer, it will adjust to the climbs and stuff like that. So I want to investigate that because I think that's a good way of getting...
Well, it can be valuable and it can also help you with your gearing too, especially if you can hook into the course in Canada.
Yeah,
as far as the climbs, because there's two really good climbs there. You're basically going over the pass and then coming back over the pass to get back to the start finish area again. So it definitely would help, but there's no substitute for actually getting out and doing it. And to begin with, like you said, what you need to do is just get your fitness back. So for the first 5 or 6 weeks of training, it'll just be working on base work. Don't really expect you to do any hard stuff during that first 5 that's the danger period. You start doing too much hard work in that time period before you've built your base, then injuries will happen.
Yeah, well, that sounds good to me. I'm happy with that.
Do you want those skinny dipping in water? There is lots of sharks in there.